has crashed already twice, and it's so unfortunate. I don't know if you guys are gonna get this stream back because I doubt you were subscribed. But anyway, it is what it is. I mean, what can I do about it? So we were at this position when our stream fell. This time it was due to connectivity issues. And here Fabi took with the pawn. D5 was played, which was okay. It was one of the best moves. Pragg played D5. C takes D5. C takes D5, and now Queen B3 has been played. And Fabi has gained some time. He was down to 12 minutes. And now Pragg is thinking after Queen B3 he has already given 5 minutes. So I hope you guys join again. I'm not sure if you're gonna find this stream once more. But okay. What can we do? Queen to B3. Okay. Now what options our Pragg has? We'll look at the number of pawns. 5 pawns each for both the sides. The best move being suggested are pawn to G5. I'm sorry. Pawn to G5 and King to H7. And I think I like the move King to H7 because it's in this diagonal. You can see this diagonal, and I don't want my king ever to be in the same diagonal as a piece, as a queen, bishop or a queen. This creates too many, a pin, this creates pin, this creates discovered attacks. So I don't like being in the same diagonal or a file as a queen, as of any piece. So I think King H7 is a very logical move here. And G5 is also good. G5 is trying to get knight here, supporting the F4 square. So it's also a nice move. Oh guys, is D4 too bad? D4 is bad. D4 is bad because A4 is coming, and taking this. Okay, this is a good option. Taking this is a good option. Now going King to H7. Now this E5. White has a passed pawn. Black has a king side majority, which is far from moving. And Queen B3 was a nice move to find from Fabi, because it's not easy to find such moves in these time scrambles. King H7, yeah, Pragg has gone King H7. We are playing like grandmasters, guys. We are playing like grandmasters. Okay, of course, if the engine wasn't on, I would have never thought of King H7 in my whole life. But if we are being presented with options, we are making good moves. So King to H7 has been played. Now it's Caruana's move once again. So two moves are possible. Rook to d1 and queen to d5. Okay. Offering an exchange of the queens. And yeah, he goes for it. Queen takes d5. Fabi goes for it. He is offering to exchange the queens. What an interesting approach from him. And exchanging queens is not good for black. The best move is rook to d6, and maybe he will take this pawn afterwards. But I mean, is it too bad? Oh man, it's +2. It's +2 if Praggnanandhaa exchanges the queens, because see, these two are passed pawns now. Even though they are doubled pawns, but I mean, passed pawns are pretty strong. So no, exchanging is bad. Exchanging is really bad for black. Rook to d6, queen to c4, and rook takes d3. Rook f7 and rook d1 check, exchanging the rooks. King to h2, giving another check. Dude, is the engine suggesting a repetition? Oh my god, I don't want to repeat. I don't want Praggnanandhaa to repeat, guys. We want him to win. We want him to win. Come on, man. I started third stream. Of course, I want him to win. I want to watch him win. What do we have? Queen to e7 is another option here. Oh man, it's too bad. It's very bad. e5 will be pushed and all rook d6 ideas will be out. So basically, Pragg has only one move here, and that is rook d6. That's the only move, guys, and I'm sure he's gonna play that. Yeah, he goes for it. He goes for it. It was kind of definite that Pragg is gonna go for that move, because there were no other moves, there were no other good moves, and hence Praggnanandhaa has played rook to d6. It's an amazing move. Now we'll get back the pawn on d3. Queen to c4, yes, that's the correct move. See, we have played so many moves. Let's see how many of them we get right. I mean, up to where we are gonna get right. But guys, now I think this game is moving towards a draw, because black will opt for a draw, because this is an interesting pawn. This pawn can create troubles for black. So I think black would be happy with the draw if Fabi lets him. Because I don't see any winning plan for black. Come on, Pragg, rook to d3. It's the best move and it's the only move actually. What are we thinking here? Any other move is good for white. Let's see, this is the second best move being suggested. d5. Queen to f7. Wow. This is not good actually. Let's take this. Oh man, this is too bad. This is too bad. Rook takes b6. Okay, something has been played. Rook c8. Okay. Oh man, this is... The engine is not liking this for black, guys. Has Pragg done a mistake? Has our Praggnanandhaa committed a mistake? Oh my god. So, Rook f7. Rook takes c4. Rook takes d7. Rook takes d7. D takes c4. Oh man, and apparently it is a very strong endgame for white. White is very strong in this endgame, man. Like, he's a pawn up, he has a passed pawn. It's plus 2.4. This is huge. This is just huge, guys. This is just huge. Okay, but now it's showing... So, I mean, it's between plus 1 and plus 2. It's strong for white. It's very strong for white. Rook c8, not a very good move, Pragg. Not a very good move. But Rook f7 has to be found by Fabi. There are no other good moves. Rook f7, like... What if we simply save our queen? Okay, yeah, this is good. We can save our queen. Queen to b5. Rook takes. Queen takes. Oh man, this pawn. Black will have to give an exchange. But Rook f7 needs to be found. Rook f7 needs to be found. I hope Fabiano doesn't see this. I hope Caruana misses that. I'm praying. Rook f7, oh my god, bro. It's not good for us. It's not good for our Indian fans, guys. Has Pragg missed it? Is this game over? Oh my god. No. This shouldn't have happened. Rook to f7. This was the best move in the position, and Fabiano Caruana, I mean, he's a legend. Of course, he's gonna find that move. Guys, Pragg is in trouble. Pragg is in trouble. It's +2 for white. Rook takes c4. Pragg has taken the queen. Queens are off the board, and this was the path we discussed, and this was the most probable path, and this has happened. 10 moves are remaining, 8 minutes remaining for Pragg, and 13 minutes for Caruana before they get the extra 30 minutes. And knight to f4, which is a good move, of course. So So it's rook bishop versus rook knight in game, and I think it's already good. Rook and bishops are already good against rook and knight, and with an extra pawn, and that too a passed pawn. And with a move like a6 or c5 c6, you can get two passed pawns. See, like this. See, like this. If he takes this, we have two passers. See, c5 is a good move. c5 is a definite plan for white. Is an option. Rook to b1 is an option, which I don't understand. I like this move c5, and this is a good move. Rook to c7, bishop e5, knight e2 check. I mean, what's the point? King f2, rook takes c5, bishop d6, rook c2, king e3. See, the king has advanced. Black is gonna crush this, guys. Black is gonna crush this. Let's say rook b1, which I don't like much. Knight to e6. Okay, bishop e3 now. Yeah. Rook to d3, threatening this bishop on e3. And now bishop to b4. Rook to d4, threatening these two pawns simultaneously. Bishop to e7. Rook to d7. I mean, man, Black cannot afford to lose this pawn. Otherwise, this pawn is the strongest. It's very tough for Black now. It's getting very, very tough for Black, guys. c5. I like the move c5. What are some other options that Black can play? Okay, this totally loses the advantage. We hope. Oh, rook d2 is coming. There's a threat, guys. Rook to d2. Let's say white plays h4. He doesn't care or anything. Rook to d2 is coming. Here and here. So like bishop e5, rook takes g2, king f1. What? Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't know which one. Rook g4 is option. Knight f5 has been played. Knight f4 has been played, and Caruana is taking his time. 4 minutes already. 4 minutes he has already taken for this move. For his move. We can only wait right now for Fabi to make his move. We have nothing much to do here. 8 minutes each to both the players. 9 moves to make before the extra 30 minutes. Fabi has taken like 5 minutes, more than 5 minutes now. It's near to 6 minutes to make a move. And he is right to think, and this is a critical position. He needs to think. He doesn't want to make any rash move here. C5, yes. I was thinking of the move C5. We wanted to play C5 and Fabi has gone for C5. And now Rook C7. Rook C7 is the best move. Okay, now Rook D2 is not working because, like, what's the problem with Rook D2 now? Oh man, this is... This is just finished, guys. Knight to e6. Yeah, c6. I was thinking of the same. c6. See, now two passed pawns. They are gonna create a huge trouble for black. Rook to c7 should be played. Rook to c7 must be played, guys. Stopping c6 ideas. Rook to c7, you may be thinking that this is creating a fork, but we looked at this. He will go knight to e2 check first, then king will come to f2, threatening the knight and the rook. Still two threats. Now we will take with the rook to c5, because now we are taking the bishop, and hence bishop to d6, again threatening the rook and knight together. And this time we can go rook to c2, and this is still good for white, even though black has gotten rid of the pawn on the c file. But now the king is very, very advanced, and in the end games we know king acts like a piece. So yeah, I mean, Knight to e6. Pragg has gone knight to e6, guys. He did not go rook to c7, which I was thinking. He has gone knight to e6, threatening this pawn. But I think c6 would be good. Even rook c1 is good. Even rook c1 looks strong. Yeah, after that knight d8 will come, protecting this square. Bishop e5, not allowing rook to c7. King d8, bishop d6, knight to c6, rook a1 again. Man, this is getting out of hand for Praggnanandhaa. Looks like Fabiano Caruana is going to draw the first blood here. But just 5 minutes for Fabi. 8 moves to make. So there's a huge possibility. Rook c1. I mean, he's not making any error, man. He's playing like a computer. How it's possible? He's playing so accurately. Just look at the bar, guys. It's too bad. It's too bad for Pragg. One error, and it's just end. Just Pragg made one slight error, and we can see knight f4 is being suggested, threatening this. So let's see knight f4, black goes knight f4, and then rook c2. Yeah, I was thinking of the same. Rook c2, knight d3, and e5. Oh man, it's too strong. It's too strong. White is too strong, man. These pawns, even though they are isolated, to like, if you see like this, you can see like there are 3 pawn islands, but no. Like rook to e7, bishop a3, knight takes e5, c6. What if rook takes e5, a6, b6, c6? This pawn is moving forward. I'm sure this pawn will queen. Knight to d8. Pragg did not go for knight f4 ideas. He has taken his knight back, putting more pressure on c6 square so that pawn c6 doesn't come, and Fabi plays bishop to e5 instantaneously, stopping rook c7. Fabiano Caruana is in top form, guys. Pragg is in trouble. Pragg is in huge trouble now. Praggnanandhaa is in trouble, and king to g8 is being suggested. But I don't think king to g8 is going to happen. The other natural move which is being suggested is knight to c6. And let's see if Praggnanandhaa plays knight to c6. Bishop d6 is suggested. Like he was threatening this knight, so protecting the bishop. And now like g5, let's say g5 gets played, rook to b1, king to g6, and a6 now. Wow, b takes a6 and rook b6. This is how you create a pass pawn. Bishop e5. I mean, it's just a matter of time. White just has to create a pass pawn between these two. One of these pawns will exchange itself for this pawn, and a passed pawn will be created. There is already a passed pawn on e4. So 2 passed pawns will be too much. Sorry. Okay, so black played knight c6, guys. Our move was played here, and bishop to d6. What we discussed is happening. I'm so sorry for this noise if that got to you. So whatever we discussed is happening in this game. Now Pragg is thinking he has less than 5 minutes, and okay, but now we are at move number 35, so it's not a very big hurry. He can take a minute per move. Like bishop d6 has been played. King g8 or rook d8 is the best move being suggested for black. Man, I think none of those moves are gonna help him. Like, see, it's +4, man. It's +4. It's too bad. It's too bad. You can see the white bar is rook d8. Let's see rook d8. Let's try rook b1. Rook a8. Rook takes b7. Rook takes a5. Rook b4. Rook a7. Man, there are 2 pawns. How are you gonna save this? How will you save this? If you give your knight away for one of the pawns, then rook bishop versus rook at 2 versus 3. No. I think Fabi will get this. Guys, it's looking grim for our Praggnanandhaa, our star. Okay, it's the first match only. King to g8. Yeah, he has played the best move. He has played the best. Rook f1. Wow. Let's look at what the engine is suggesting. Rook to f1. Cutting the king completely. We are not going to let this king enter into the game, and we'll push our pawns. This is supreme if Caruana finds that. Rook a1 is also a good move. Planning to play a6. Okay, I was wondering, what if this move was played? e5, knight c6, e6, rook d8, e7. Oh man, this pawn would have reeled in, man. King g8, and Fabi has made his move. It's rook to a1. Fabiano Caruana has played rook to a1, guys. I mean, what was the problem playing e5 here? Okay, king f7. Oh man. See, it's not simple. One mistake and your advantage is down. See, the game is equal for this move. But Fabiano Caruana is not me. He plays accurately and he goes rook to a1. Now this pawn is being protected by the rook. I mean, I thought rook f1 was more dashing, was more good looking, cutting the king. So king g8 was a natural move. Now rook d8 is being suggested. Rook d8, rook b1, rook c8, rook b5. Wow, this is interesting. Guys, please like the stream, subscribe to my channel. Thanks for joining in. And okay, back to the game. Rook d8. Let's try to say rook d8. Rook b1, threatening this pawn. Rook a8. Okay, black's gonna ignore a6. This is interesting. Can't we simply take here? This is also good. We can simply take on b7 as well. Rook d8. Pragg has played rook d8. Pragg has played rook d8. What we were discussing. He is finding the best moves. Only at one place he made an error, and Fabi latched onto that. Pragg has played a fantastic game, but just one error, and it just. Okay, still there's a lot to do in this game. Even though the engine is showing it's plus 3.6, but there's a lot to happen in this game. Fabiano Caruana has to be very, very accurate. Even if he does even a slightest of error, this game will not convert for white. Now a6 is also an impressive move. Like, why to wait? Just play it directly. e6. Let's say rook b1. What about knight takes a5 now? Oh, this is just finished. This will be just finished actually. Okay, no. This is a bad move. Rook to b1. Let's say rook to c8. Here. And rook to b4, rook to b5, both are fine. I will go rook to b5. Knight to c6. And rook b king f2. Okay, white has to move his king up. Okay, e5. e5 is a bad move. e5. Okay, so we are learning here something as well. If we have passed pawns, we have to wait before moving our pawns. Otherwise, we can get into trouble. See, I think Fabi has not touched this pawn since the inception, but like became a passed pawn after the knight was taken on g6. When it was taken on g6, let's see. f takes g6. On move number 20, black took the pawn on. Okay, but there was a d pawn, I think. Anyway, rook to d8 has been played by Praggnanandhaa, and the engine says it's plus 4. White has a winning advantage according to the engine. But rook b1, he plays the best move once again. Fabi is like, he is in a crushing form. He is not making any mistakes, even slightest of the errors. No room for our boy. Rook a8, rook c8. How bad of a move is king to f7? It's just a horrible move, because rook to b7 is happening. Knight to a5, we saw it was a bad move because bishop was coming. Rook to e8. Pragg has chosen rook to e8. I'm sorry. He wants to get this pawn now. Now bishop c7, protecting the pawn on a5, or even rook to b7 is a fine move. I mean, either after rook to b7, either black will take on e4 or on a5. I mean, you can only take one of the pawns in one turn. So I think white should simply take on b7. White should simply take on b7. Why to complicate things with moves like bishop to c7? And how good of a move is... I mean, no, king f2. Not right now. King f2 is not a good move right now. 1 minute 45 seconds remaining for Pragg, 4 minutes for our Fabi. Bishop c7. Let's try to analyze. Bishop c7. Rook takes e4. Rook takes b7. Okay. Rook a4. And I mean, yeah, bishop b6. Knight takes a5, just rook a7. Boom, gone. Bishop c7 has been played. Bishop c7 has been played by Fabiano Caruana, as I said. No mistakes. Okay, the clock is moving weirdly. I think the time is not being updated very nicely. 2 moves remaining before the time control. I think Pragg will quickly take the pawn on e4. I mean, that's why he played that move. I mean, there's no other reason to play rook to e8. So the pawn on e4 is going to be taken. And the big question is if Fabi will be able to convert this game into a win and get 6 points. Yeah, he takes rook takes e4. And guys, rook takes b7 will also happen, and it has happened already. Rook takes b7. Fabiano Caruana is blitzing out the moves. Now, we looked at rook to a4, but like there are 3 moves being suggested. Rook to e1 check is also rook a4. Yeah, Pragg has gone rook a4. And the last move before the time control, I like the move bishop to b6. Rook to b6 is also an option. And I think now the room for error has reduced significantly for black. Sorry, for white. White can afford to play more freely. It's never easy to convert such endgames. I mean, at least for me, I have messed such endgames like many a times in tournament. But here we are talking about Fabiano Caruana. I am sure he doesn't miss these things. Rook b6. Fabiano has opted for rook to b6 rather than bishop to b6, which was my move. And now I think we have reached the time control. Soon you will see 30 minutes get added to both the players' time. But Pragg has yet to make a move. Pragg is yet to make a move. So the knight has been threatened. 2 squares are being suggested, either to d4, either to e7. See, you cannot take on a5 because there's an amazing move, rook to a6, and this knight gets trapped. Because you cannot move this knight, you will lose the rook, so this knight will fall. So you cannot take the pawn on a5. Let's say knight to d4. Let's see. Okay, now this pawn is threatened. So a6, rook to a1 check, king to f. Okay, why are we going to h2, man? Let's go king to f2. Rook to a2, king e3, knight f5, king d3. Knight cannot give any more checks. Knight e7. Pragg has opted for knight to e7 rather than going knight to d4. Maybe he's looking for this fork, but I think the time must have been added to the player's clock now. We are unable to see it yet, but I'm sure they must have gotten the time already. Bishop to d8, bishop to d6. Two moves are there. Again threatening the knight. Hence, not letting black capture the pawn on a5. Bishop d8, knight to d5, rook b8, knight b4, interesting, rook to c8, it's +5, it's like white is a whole rook up, king to h7, and now c6. Okay guys, the game will slow down a bit now because I'm sure 30 minutes have been added to both the players' clock. So they're gonna take a long think now before making any moves. Come on guys, comment. Do you think Fabi will convert this or Pragg will make a comeback? Do you think Fabi is gonna win this or Pragg will make a comeback? Let's try bishop to d6, knight to d5, rook to b5, knight to b4, and how are... Oh, come on, we can even give up the exchange. Interesting. Rook c6, c7, king f7, a6, king to e6, a7, like giving up everything, king to d6, queen, rook takes e7, wow, a queen versus rook endgame. Are we gonna see this today? Does black have a fortress? Can black create a fortress? No, I don't think black has a fortress. Fabi is taking his time now. How good of a move is this? This is a decent move, but why to allow this? Why to allow king to f7? Can we just take a quick look at Wesley's game? Wesley So versus Vincent Kammer. It's gonna end in a draw. It's gonna end in a draw. There's nothing to look here. Let's get back to the marquee game, the finals. Guys, we can wait only. We can only wait for white to make its move. As I said, after the 40 move mark, the game will slow down. Rook to d6. Okay, it's not the best move to play. Oh man, no. It's still a good move. It's still an amazing move. It's still plus 3.8. This pawn has been saved. This pawn will push. Maybe this pawn will push. Very tough for our Pragg to defend this. See guys, time has increased. Fabi has 24 minutes, Pragg has 30 minutes, 40 seconds. King f7 after rook d6, king f7 was played. He's trying to get his king towards the pawns. Now rook d7 is the best move. King e6. Let's make these moves. Rook d7, king e6, rook d6. On king e5, rook takes g6 is being suggested. Are you serious? Okay, there's a check. Sorry. I thought we are just blundering the rook. Okay, nice. But yeah, we'll go king f7 once again. This is the current position. So why to play rook to d7? Let's start with bishop to b6 only. After bishop to b6, our c pawn is racing. Let's say bishop to b6, knight to f5, rook to d8, not d7. King e6. Yeah, I was thinking c6, rook to c4, maybe a6 takes, maybe a7. Okay, this is bad. This is really bad. First rook b7, knight to d6, rook to b8, knight to c8. Now this move. Wow, interesting. Because now If you take here, we'll first take this. Now it will once again queen versus rook endgame. That we reached in another variation we checked. I think bishop b6 is the best here. Fabiano is taking his time. He doesn't want to make an error and lose the advantage he has. I'm sure he's very well aware he is in a good position in this match. It's okay, Pragg is playing with black pieces. I'm sure he's gonna make a comeback tomorrow. And it's not over until it's over, guys. It's not over until it's over. Bishop b6. Man, he's playing like a supercomputer. Knight to f5, and I'm sure rook to d7 or rook to d8 will be played in no time by Fabiano Caruana. Rook to d8, another best move from Fabiano Caruana. He is not in a mood to make even the slightest, even the least of the errors. No, he is playing the perfect moves, guys. He's just playing the perfect moves. And now it's either knight to e7 coming back, not allowing c6, or rook a1 checking h2, then knight e7. But knight e7 has to be played, otherwise there is gonna be c6, and knight to e7. Pragg goes for knight to e7, and now I'm sure rook a8 is going to be played, giving support to the a pawn to push the a pawn. See, there's a high chance that we'll end up rook bishop versus rook. White will have 2 pawns and black will have 3 pawns. In such an end game, there is a chance. And guys, I'm sure Fabiano Caruana is not gonna miss, and he will play rook to a8 in no time. Rook to d6 doesn't make sense because again knight f5 will come and there will be a chance of repetition, and I'm sure Fabi is not looking to repeat here. Rook to b8, is there a transmission error? It's also an okay move, but why? What's the purpose of this move? Rook a8 was played. As I said, guys, there was a transmission error. Rook b8 doesn't make any sense. He had played rook to a8, and now Pragg played knight to c6. Pragg is making his move quickly, and because like he has mostly only moves, Now a6 I think will be played. The way Caruana is playing a6, yeah, he goes for it, man. It's just going to be ending. g5, yeah, king e6. Now two moves white has, rook to c8 or a7. I mean, either first move the pawn or either first move the rook. It's up to white which piece to move first. And I'm sure a7 is going to be played. Yeah, a7 guys, a7. Let's say king d5, rook to g8, knight takes a7, rook a8. Okay, what if rook takes a7, bishop takes a7, knight takes a7. Okay, this will be, and rook g8. This is exactly what's happened, guys. Knight c6, a6, king a7 we had seen, and Pragg played king to d5, rook g8 was played, and knight to a7. We are going into a rook bishop versus rook endgame because this knight is pinned. Rook to e4, and we'll take the knight on a7 now. But I think the problem is this pawn will stay alive, and this pawn will just finish the game. If black had gotten the pawn in giving up these knights, both the pawns, then black had some drawing chances, maybe because he has 3 pawns and white has only 2 pawns. But this c5 pawn, I think, is surviving. If king to c6, we will take with the rook. Rook to e4 again, we will take with the rook. Rook a7, king c6, king h2, rook e6, and rook into g7. It's finished, guys. I think it's a resignable position. Oh man. Maybe a resignable position. Guys, Pragg has nothing. Looks like the first game is gone. And after the time control, Praggnanandhaa is thinking for the very first time. He was playing fairly quickly. If you look at time difference, Fabi has 19 minutes remaining, Pragg has 28 minutes remaining, but Fabi is gonna take this game home, guys. Now I can say it with confidence. Pragg is gonna lose this one. Unfortunately, Pragg is going to lose this one. You can see the bar, it's plus 5.8. Man, it's like 2 pieces up. It's like 2 minor pieces up. It's just too much. It's just too much to save. And Pragg resigns. Pragg has resigned, guys. Pragg has resigned. As I said, Pragg will resign. Now this is quite a resignable position. This knight was pinned. If this knight moves, we take the rook. If let's say rook e4, we take the knight. We are a piece up, and this pawn will fall. Let's say this, maybe this is falling, this pawn is alive, g6, h6 is falling. Maybe anything. See, the problem is c pawn is alive. This pawn will queen with the help of rook and bishop sooner or later. Pragg has resigned. Pragg has resigned, guys. Like, he resigned in this position. I'm sorry. This was the position he resigned, I believe. Yeah, here he resigned. Okay guys, thanks a lot for joining in. Unfortunately, today Praggnanandhaa lost game. Fabi has gotten 6 points, but it's okay. It was only the first game. And tomorrow we'll be back at 10:30 p.m. IST in the coverage of the second classical game. Till then, goodbye and a good night.